do this. I think we can push them out. I think, nope.
Yep.
You ain't fixing shit. So put your nose down, get to work.
I wonder if that really is the difference. I mean, in Europe,
It has to be.
well, in Europe,
Because they kind of resign themselves to the fact that they're not participating.
Yep.
You know, it's
It's
not
a lot
an
easier to be
experiment, it's not-
apolitical when it's a feudal exercise.
Yeah, it's like, what are you gonna do? Stop being a troublemaker.
Of course, part of this, it comes down to an attitude. I mean, you're probably familiar with the numbers in the American Revolution. Only about 3% of America supported the revolution. It was a really niche movement of very dedicated, motivated people. And so, the best way to probably stop that 3% from existing in China is to convince them that it's feudal and to kind of fuel that cynicism almost.
Well,
You see this in Russia too. I mean,
military dictatorships.
So
same deal.
one of the conclusions I've come to, I work with a weapons industry, and I've seen a lot of cool stuff. I've seen stuff the U.S. is making, that I'm making. I'm familiar with a lot of the weapon systems that Russia and China have in fielding or in progress. Some of the stuff that China and Russia are doing, it's as sci-fi as what the United States is doing. But I've come to the conclusion their most powerful weapon is not any bomb or missile or drone. It's their ability to control people's minds through the media, through propaganda, through kind of state pressure. They convince them to believe things about the world that weren't true, that aren't true. And then they're basically making people willing to fight for causes that don't really exist. Like, a good example is Ukraine. A lot of the Russians who went to fight in Ukraine in the early days, I think the truth is out now, but when they were first invading, they were told that the people of Ukraine want to be liberated, you're going to be a hero, you're going to go over there. Like, they desperately want Russia to save them and to unify them. And it's just this, Kyiv-led, cabal funded by the West, but that it's barely holding on to the country and keeping and staying in power. And people in Russia really believe that. Like, the guys who are fighting on the front lines, the guys who are flying tanks and helicopters, they believe it. When I went to Ukraine during the war, one of the things that I got to see was there was this helicopter wreck. It was like an attack helicopter that was trying to seize an airfield of a private aerospace company. And the guys actually shot it down themselves. They showed me videos of them wearing polo shirts, shooting down the helicopter in their parking lot. I mean, it's like crazy shit. So the pilot's kind of go bag, in his bag with all of his emergency and survival gear, it had 3 or 4 days of water, 3 or 4 days of food, another flight uniform, his dress uniform with dress shoes, because they were told they said this is going to be a 5-day military operation, there's going to be parades, so dress uniform, and then 50 condoms. This guy thought that he was going to be, the women were going to be all over him, he was going to need 50 condoms for the post-war